And aloha, welcome to the Don Brown Chevrolet postgame show. Well, the Blues fall 6-3, and we got a lot to talk about. Trust me, I want your comments. I want to know what you think. Brock, give a second. I'm bringing Lance in because me and Lance talked a little bit. The officiating in this game is what caused that hit to Faulk. Absolutely what caused that hit to Faulk. And these guys created the environment that was out there. Absolutely. I'm sorry, Brock. You can say you can't blame the officials all you want. They created that environment, and I'm going to stick with that.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm blaming Nathan McKinnon's freaking parents. I'll tell you what. They had a picture of them at the end of the damn game. It's like, man, that guy just killed us. Hell yeah. I mean, come on, that's the story here. I mean, don't bury the lead. The lead's Nathan McKinnon. Hello?
Okay, hold on. Stop. I get what you're saying. Lance, are you still there with me, Lance?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, I got to bring in Kylo Ren. Kylo, we're about to have the discussion of a lifetime, and you're going to get to moderate it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Looking forward.
Did you watch the game?
I did not.
Okay.
Good for you.
Yeah, you're gonna be glad you did. This game, the referees let a lot go.
Guy. You want to introduce Lance? I don't think Lance has ever been on with Kyler.
Oh yeah, hey, Mike. This is Lance from the Drop Hockey Podcast.
Hey, Mike. Nice to meet you.
Mike is a hockey writer for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yep. I've read some of his stuff.
You already know who he is. Okay.
Yeah, I've read some of his stuff.
Oh, there you go. See?
Oh,
right?
Thank you.
You're semi-famous on the show. I got to tell you, this show, the pregame show we did had 125 views.
Nice.
Right?
Wow.
Which is some of the best for it's already up to close to 170.
Nice.
So they're still going back and watching it. So it's good. And it had 50 views on Twitter, and and those are still going up. So that show was a good show.
Congratulations, guys.
Well, we lay out our case. Lay out the case to Michael.
Okay. So in the third period, Justin Faulk, and I don't remember who the player was, got creamed.
Kadri.
A hit to the head.
Kadri.
Yeah.
Kadri.
I saw
hitting to the head. Now, on the TV, they said he didn't leave his feet till after the hit. You watched that. He left his feet before the hit.
He left his feet before the hit.
Yeah, he left his feet before the hit. Takes Faulk out. Earlier in the game, Bortuzzo got hit with an elbow in the face, and he was out. What I'm saying is the officiating early in the game that didn't call anything. There were up until that penalty. There were only 3 penalties called. No, 2 penalties called. Right? There was hardly any penalties called. They let all this ticky-tack stuff go. Well, not even ticky-tack. They let everything go, no matter what it was. They just let it go, and you could see hooking and slashing and jumping the whole time, but it never got called. None of it got called. This game got out of hand. Faulk got hurt and is probably out for a couple of games because of that.
Okay. So,
right? I'm saying that the official.
I don't want to interrupt.
I before you got on, Brock, and I think you'll agree with me. After the second intermission, we both said that it's kind of a fallback excuse to blame the refs for calling too many penalties or not calling a certain call. But in this instance, because of the way they called this game and allowed this buildup of hits where they weren't called, that hit on Faulk is all on the referees. Because when you call a game like that and you make it to where you let these hits go and they get worse and worse as the game goes on, because trust me, I played long enough to know these guys know what they can and can't get away with. And Kadri thought he could get away with that. And, the refs set the tone. I don't blame the refs for the loss, but I do blame the refs for that hit.
Well, no, if you want to know who to blame the loss on, you blame the loss on Berube.
Terrible adjustments, terrible line combinations, just terrible. And I had somebody ask, when is it time to start questioning Berube? And I said 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did it back in January. I actually, Gary, I'll go a little different here. I thought he did a better job of adjusting because, they talked about on TV, trust the process, and yet that was starting to roll. But my problem is pulling Bennington with 2 minutes left in a 1-goal game.
There was over 2 minutes left.
Yeah, way too early to pull Bennington, right? You needed to keep wearing them down in their zone. I think that it was obvious it was too early to pull.
Hey, guy, at least he didn't pull a stupid thing like Patrick Waugh did and pull his goalie with 9 minutes left in that one game when he was the coach of the Avalanche.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I kind of want to jump in here, man, let my point of view be heard because, we got to heard you guys and stuff. And, Michael, we argue a lot, but we all respect each other, and we get
yeah.
After the argument's over, I still think Guy's a big loser and Lance is a big hot shot. But anyway,
no.
So
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I have when I get on something, I chew that bone till there's nothing left.
I got you. Trust
he's
me,
he's like a dog with a huge bone. He gnarls and gnarls on it until there's nothing left, and then once he gets a new bone, he starts all over again.
Sure. So
and I have
okay.
Right now. Wait a minute, Brock. You can sit there and say all that, but you can't say that I haven't wiffle waffled or waffled or any of that. That I've been dead straight.
Right. Yeah, you're straight.
Right?
You're straight.
You've been consistent on blaming the refs
since day one.
Yes.
Right. I'm not blaming the refs here for this loss.
I'm giving them a hard time.
I know, but I'm blaming them for the game getting out of control.
Yeah, okay. I do blame
not
them
the
for
loss.
That. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, the loss is on Berube. You don't pull your goal with 2 minutes left against the best team in the league on a 1-goal game.
What more can you say about that? Okay, it's over. All right. Here's where I'm coming from on it. That's loser talk, man. It's like you got millions of dollars invested in forwards. You got a goalie that makes $36 million. And he's late. 5 goals, I guess, or I should say 4 goals because 2 of them were empty netters.
Yeah. But Brock,
got money.
That $6 million really isn't that much for a starting goalie.
No,
he's making
not.
He's making like the 9th to 11th amount in the league, and he's probably in the top 12 goalies in the league.
Well, it's top goalie money. But my point being is, you got a lot of money invested in this.
Yep.
You built your team around this. You built your team to face these kind of challenges, and you've just failed miserably. I don't know if it's because Perron's out. I don't know. It's just like an excuse today, but. The thing is the fact is, okay, Perron's out, Justin Faulk's out, but guess what? Mikkola stepped up. Well, he was great.
Yeah.
Mikkola
absolutely
showed up and showed some offense. So I definitely think that there were some things that there were adjustments because again, Mikkola did start getting in the offensive game. Was that him or was that the coaching? Yeah. I don't know. You guys say him. I'll say maybe the coaching. I don't know, whatever. But
I think it's a little bit of no. Actually, I'm going to say this is coaching.
It's always the refs, or oh my God, the world's against us, or NBC, the announcers hate us.
No, I don't care about that. No, and here's one thing.
So that's where I come from, Michael.
Yeah, I wasn't a big Hitchcock fan, but Ken Hitchcock predicted this when he left after he left the Blues, and he said, and I quote. This is a heavy game in the playoffs. It's still going to stay somewhat heavy, but over the next 4 to 6 years, it's going to be a trend to where you're going to have 2 or 3 very fast lines to win the Stanley Cup. And what's happened? You've got to have 2 or 3 very fast lines now to win the Stanley Cup, and the Blues are just behind. They were right there on the end of that window when the heavy teams could pull off a victory in the Stanley Cup. And you've got to play physical. But the whole idea of let's beat them down and then try to get goals, that doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't.
Okay, hold on. I got it. So Anthony Tony Chumbley says, are you crazy? Coach did a great job. Okay, you can think that all you want. Find out how many other coaches in this league are going to pull their goalie against a top offensive team with 2 minutes left.
Can I ask you this question? Can I ask you this question, Guy?
Yeah.
Even though the Blues are playing good and they got that goal to make it 4-3, right after that, Colorado kind of stepped it up a little bit. I
agree.
think even if you'd have waited till a minute 40, a minute 30, they still would have scored an empty net goal and it would have been 5-3. What I've never understood, you're down by 2 goals and there's not much time left. So you pull him again. And that's, to me, that's just stupidity.
Yeah.
Michael, what are you thinking? You heard all the sides. What do you say, man?
Yeah, I really don't understand pulling the goalie with 2 minutes left, the goal down. I don't get that at all. I think I don't know what Craig Berube was thinking, but I think he was trying to pull something, like maybe pull off a miracle, kind of. That's what he was thinking, like something spectacular, out of the ordinary. But I think it backfired on him. And if I was the coach, I wouldn't do that. But hey, I'm not the coach, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and maybe against the Calgary Flames you do that, but you don't do that against the Colorado Avalanche.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, man, you guys, we got like 20 people watching. I can't even keep up with the comments, man. So, a lot of these chats are about the poll, that it was poor to pull.
But you know what? Let's talk about the game as a whole. The Blues were outplayed until they came alive in that third period. It's just basic. Yeah, there were some missed calls, and Brock and I aren't going to blame the refs for that. But we all agree the cause of that hit on Faulk, it was caused by the way the refs officiated the game. But the Blues were never really in this game until the last part of the game. And that's what's sad for me, because we saw when they play their game, and like I said on my podcast today, they can beat anybody in the league. When they play their game, cut down on the mistakes, play good defense, take opportunities that are given to them, and don't give up too many mistakes, this team can beat anybody. And unfortunately, in the last 2 games, they haven't done all of that for a full 60 minutes each game.
Yeah. Well, here's a good point. HCF 45 says the fact is that we came back. You're right.
That's
we did
nice
come
to
back,
see,
and they did fight well. And I will give that to them, that they did show that fight, and they did show that they have this kaputs to come back and try and win, right?
Yeah.
That they've got it. They got the never die quality. But
see, I'm going to stop you there, man, because 30 seconds after they spun up to make it a game, they gave up another goal. That's just been the story of the year. For one step up, they take 2 steps back, and that's just been the way the team's performed this year, man.
Well, I'm not going to be as negative on that right now. I'll take this third period, and I'll use that third period to build off of, right? First of all, there's no way in St. Louis that Colorado's going to get away with what they got away with here, right? And I'm not saying because it's in St. Louis. I'm saying because the league's going to say this. The league's going to stop it because you've got a guy hurt. You've got a guy hurt now. You got a guy possibly out with a straight up illegal hit that you knew was coming.
I'm going to ask you this, guy. How many times have we said something like that? The league will get smart. The league will figure it out. The player safety will go, we're not going to put up with this. We're going to let our refs know. And what happens in the next game or two? The exact same thing happened. Player safety is a farce. It needs to be revamped. It needs to be totally broken down and redone. And it's going to have to happen. Or in all honesty, I don't think they're going to do anything about it until somebody like Crosby, McKinnon, somebody like McDavid gets hurt, Austin Matthews, Marner, one of those type of guys, Tavares. If one of those guys gets hurt and is out for a year, then player safety might do something about it. That's just the way I look at it. I mean, what do you think, Michael, about that?
I agree 150%.
Well, you guys must have read my article, because I wrote that article about player safety and how to fix it. So, but that's not what I'm trying to get at is there's no way that Colorado's going to get away with the same type of play in St. Louis, right? It's not going to happen. The league is, if anything, the refs are going to look at this game and go, we blew that one. We let that game get out of hand, right? Now you look at and go back and look at the game against Washington and the Rangers, right? When that game, you knew that game was going to get out of hand, but the refs really did try and control that game by not overcalling penalties, by calling good penalties in that. I see you've had, I think it's not up until this major, you only had like 5 penalties called in this whole in 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
I lost Lance for a second. So they put the whistle in the pocket. It's not going to get put in the pocket in St. Louis. I guarantee it.
Hey, real quick, since we have Michael here, I know we got a little bit of a break. Michael, you guys are the Vegas series. Boy, what a series there. You guys went down 1-0-1 and you came back, storming back. What's the feeling out there about that series real quick?
Yeah, honestly, Vegas, they won yesterday, but are they playing their best hockey? I don't think so at all. I feel like they were slacking a lot. Fleury saved them completely. If it wasn't for Marc-Andre Fleury in that, the game would have gone a completely different way. So it's nice to see that the series is tied and that they won yesterday, but man, they're just not playing up to par. They shouldn't be this close to the Wild in each game. But
yeah, they've definitely disappointed me in their defense. Their defense has turned the puck over several times in the defensive zone, and you can't do that against a team like Minnesota. You just can't do it. And like you said, I was just amazed every time I was watching the game last night. And I'm like, oh my God, another save by Fleury. And then 2 minutes later, another turnover. What did Pietrangelo just do? Another save by Fleury. What happened? Tuck gave the puck up. Another save by Fleury.
Exactly.
Hey, well, here's a question for you, Mike. What was the feeling about the false positives that you had this morning?
Oh,
or did that news even get out?
I just saw it a couple of hours ago, to be quite honest with you. And I didn't think too much of it, to be quite honest with you. I didn't.
Well, see, you guys didn't have – I don't know if you guys practiced today or not. The Blues had a practice and had 4 major players not at the practice. And that, there's a lot going on. There's still some – this game with the COVID issues that the Blues are having, some fans feel like this should have been postponed 1 or 2 games, moved the series to allow for some of that. Because Colorado, every time that they got COVID – they had games postponed.
Yeah, but that's the regular season, and this season is going to go deep into the summer, and they don't want to start doing that unless there's definitely several players that test positive. And I understand it. Fans wanting the game to be postponed, so you've got your best players out there. But like we discussed the other night, DP 57, if he doesn't have 2 tests right in a row that are negative, he won't be back till game 6 if there's a game 6.
Yeah.
The other thing, guys, remember this too, is like, hey, the NHL, they're competing with the NBA right now. So if they want to get eyes on the TV, they need to start putting out a product and having, again, quality officiating. I'll give you that. They need to start having, things like that. But I'll tell you what, they've had close games. These overtime games got a lot of interest early. We'll see how it continues to go. But, again, the NHL, they're not really at the luxury of being able to take whole groups of fans and tell them to get lost, because they need every fan they could get, especially going right up against LeBron James in the NBA playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of this stuff about me blaming the refs and to stop blaming the refs, and then you can't postpone the playoffs. My part in this is the North didn't start their round until today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you could have moved the Colorado St. Louis back and had game 1 start Friday or tomorrow and still work it, right? And still be within that first round. But that's just how I feel.
I don't know. I don't know with the arena availability and like how does that all work, and if they move dates.
Right now a lot of arenas are wide open. They can't book anything.
Well,
so with this actually in St. Louis, who is it? The Cardinals announced it on June 14th.
They're going to be 100%. Yeah.
100%, right? So things are opening up. So that's good, but still.
Let me ask you this, Guy. If they did postpone it and say, all right, the Canadians Northern Division is going to start on this day, these players or this player's tested positive, let's start theirs on Friday. Then all of a sudden, every team that played, like the Knights and the Wild, they've got to wait. They've got to wait 5, 6, 7 days for their opponent. In the meantime, they haven't played. They're not going to be fresh. They're not going to be as good as they were if they'd played a couple nights before. And I think that's why the NHL doesn't want to do it. Now, I will venture to say, like I said earlier, if a team has 4 or 5 guys that have tested positive and 2 positive, 1 guy, 2 guys, I don't think they will.
They did when it was 3 on Colorado.
But that's
Now,
the
hold on.
regular. That's the regular
Okay,
season.
but hold. Let me stop you for a second, because the waiting, the 4 or 5 days or the 6 days doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because if one team sweeps and the other one goes 7, you're waiting those 6 days anyways.
No. I mean, there's also TV rights, and the TV stations have a lot to do with it. And they're not going to say we're not going to bump the Grammy Awards so we can put on Game 3 of the Colorado, Carolina series.
Oh, I would. I'd do that in a heartbeat.
I would.
Yeah, I would too.
But my point is that those things.
Kadri was suspended the remainder of the series. He had a suspension like that in 2018 when he was with the Leafs.
He did.
Yep.
Okay. Right. And 2019.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, I want
to actually Wendy, he could be suspended the remainder of the playoffs.
I don't think they'll do that.
I saw your comment about Brandon Saad. He was a killer. He shot the dagger tonight. Brandon Saad did.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, do you live in Vegas?
No, I live in Montreal, actually.
Montreal. Oh, okay. Yeah. Are you one of the Montreal people that I tell you what, I've been to Montreal, very, very nice people. Been to Quebec City, totally different experience. Some people were nice. Some people did not respect the fact I didn't speak French, but in Montreal, they do respect that. But Quebec's a little different city, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. If even sometimes in Montreal, like even me, like I speak French, but sometimes it's not the best language that I have. And if you don't speak French, sometimes some people get mad. Some people are like, no. You have to speak French.
I'm French, but I don't speak French. I'm sorry. So
hey, it's all good. No need to apologize.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what, Michael. That Rue St. Catherine, that's a hell of a place.
Hey, it is. It is, especially at nighttime.
That's a good time. Yeah. That's a good time up there, man. I've been up there. That's a really fun time.
Well, real quick, guys, we're kind of running out. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. You're watching the Blue Note Fan Report, brought to you today by Don Brown Chevrolet at the entrance to the hill at 2727 South Kings Highway. And I'm going to get it right one of these days. I'm joined today by the hockey writers, Michael Viekas, St. Louis Fan Report, and the hockey writers, Brock Banner, and from the Drop Hockey Podcast and maybe the St. Louis Fan Report. I'm still not letting him go on that. Mr. Lance DeScott. We're here talking Blues hockey. We got about 5-10 more minutes to go. Let us know. This is your time. We're going to open it up to you. And I want to talk about the pick'em contest real quick. William Kegley, you just missed a perfect game.
Wow.
He had the Avalanche with 3, or Avalanche 5-3 with McKinnon. Wow. McKinnon had a hat trick. I also think he had an assist. So he probably had 4 points there. Wow. So he ended up with 3, 4, 5. He hit 5 or 6 points. So, I mean, and not only that, I got to go through. I don't know this for a fact yet. He may have won the I can't remember
picture?
The Tarasenko poster, Tarasenko signed picture.
Yeah, poster,
right.
Yep.
I put a thing out today on Twitter and on Facebook that I have a 8x10 of Tarasenko after he scored a goal at the Winter Classic. I was going to give that to the one with the highest points and that put their thing in first. Right now, I don't see anybody getting more than that. Looking at the scores, so he might have it. Yeah.
Do you have any bids on that swimsuit calendar that Lance and I did last year for you? Did anybody bid on that at all?
Yeah. They would bid me for you to burn it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I heard the highest bid was $5,000, and please burn it was the note that went with it. So
yeah,
Michael, it's tough being beautiful, man.
Yeah, man.
We're beat there.
Hey, Michael, I want to ask Michael something real quick.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me that since I think the Wild and the Knights are so evenly matched when it comes to talent, I think the edge has to go goaltending for the Knights. But I thought this would be a 7-game series from the beginning. Is that what most fans are thinking? Is that what you think?
Oh, yeah. I don't know about most of the other fans, but even before the playoffs started, I didn't want to face the Wild. No offense to the other teams, but I didn't want to face the Wild because I knew they were going to give the Golden Knights trouble. And we're seeing it happen now. Like they're just stifling our offense. I think the Wild were 5-2-1 against you guys in the regular season. Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like the Golden Knights relied on speed during the regular season, and now that's cut out completely. So now they're kind of scrambling. They don't know what to do. And in a 7-game, in like the playoff series, you have to think quick. You have to adapt, and hopefully they could do that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely see what the Wild are doing against him. They're slowing him down in the neutral zone. They're not allowing a lot of pressure on Talbot in net, and they're getting the puck out of their end quickly so that Vegas can't get something going. They're doing to the Knights what the Blues should be doing to Colorado when the Blues aren't doing.
Yeah, exactly. Minnesota's forcing Vegas. Vegas during the regular season just go in through the middle of the ice, just create chances.
Mm-hmm.
Now Vegas is forced to dump and chase, rely on their forecheck, and they're having trouble with that. So
there's been a lot of play in the neutral zone in that series.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Hey, real quick question came in. Being from Montreal, who's going to win that series, Montreal or the Toronto series?
Yeah, I saw that. So as a Habs fan, I'm going to say the Habs because I've loved them since I was a boy. but
yes,
as a non-biased hockey fan, I have to give the Leafs the edge because they've just been breaking my heart this season. The Habs, they have, and I really hope they win, but it's wishful thinking on my part. But
I think you're going to need Carey Price to be Carey Price from 6-7 years ago is what you're going to need.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't see that happening, but
I want him to win too, because I've had several discussions with Leafs fans and told Leafs fans if it was if they were still in the old division like they were last year, the Leafs would not be in first place and Matthews would not have 40 some odd goals.
Yeah.
And they all disagree with me. Oh, if he was still playing in the old division, he would probably have 50 or 60 goals. I'm like, no, your competition up there's not as good as what they are used to. Boston's had their number for years in the playoffs, and I would just like to see Montreal get a break and at least make it to the second round. I think those fans up there are great. I've been to watch a Canadiens game. It's a fun atmosphere, and they are diehard fans. And people here in St. Louis get mad at me for saying something negative about the Blues. Heck, the Avs fans are always saying something negative about the team, about Bergevin, about whatever coach they have. And so, I don't think Blues fans could live up in Canada, up in Montreal very well.
Yeah.
Well, hey, E. Guido just said, wanted to ask for about the contest. He asked if the empty netters count against the goalie. No, well, they don't go against the goalie. In the contest, Bennington was 29 for 33. So he got 3 points, but gave up 4 goals. So he ends up with a -1, right? That's the chance at picking a goalie. You can end up, that's the only player you can end up with a negative with, right? Unless somebody scores an own goal, then you could end up with a negative there. But that doesn't happen very often.
I don't think we want the Blues to repeat Steve Smith in the playoffs for Edmonton all those years ago. I don't think we want to see that.
Well, who was it for the Blues that threw the puck in the net?
Steve Duchesne.
Yep.
Yeah.
Steve Duchesne threw it in.
Yep.
Or no, was it Mark Bergevin?
It was Mark Bergevin.
That's right. It was Bergevin. That's right.
Bergevin, yeah.
Steve Duchesne was on the team. I remember that.
Yeah,
but,
it was Bergevin.
Yeah.
And I remember the look on Bergevin's face was like, oh, hell, did I just
And he's
do
the
that?
Habs GM.
Yeah.
He's the Montreal GM right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, what's up with his hair? He used to be very subdued. Now he's trying to be like he's 30 years old again, and his hair was all wavy last time I seen him. I think he's trying to copy your hairstyle.
Yeah, he saw me in the street, and I guess he's growing it out now. So, but that whole front office, like it's like I don't know if you've seen pictures, but Bergevin is like super jacked and
they're all ripped. He's like he's in better shape now than he was when he was 25.
Exactly. Yeah, it's great.
Well, hey everyone, I gotta say thank you. We're right at the 30-minute mark, and since it's so late out there, I don't want to keep you guys up anymore. I want to say thank you to all of you. Mike, thanks for coming on. You're always welcome. Anytime you want to come on and join us, let me know. We'll gladly have you.
Nice to meet you, buddy.
Absolutely.
Brock, great job again.
Thank you for having me, guys.
We love it. We love it. We love it. Lance, Anytime, my friend. Anytime. Guys, this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, who can't hit the right button again.
The laugh track.
There we go. Yep. At least it works. So this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying aloha, mahalo, and I can't wait to see you again on the next Blue Note Fan Report at 8 p.m. Central tomorrow night. Aloha.